basic question first. How old are you?
12?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're on track to be a teenage billionaire. How much does Ryan get to keep of all this?
Oh, be careful, Ryan.
If like Ryan were to call it quits, what would happen?
You guys, things at Ryan's world are looking real dark, and if he is not rescued right now, then we are looking at a disaster waiting to happen. Like, we always knew his parents were kind of shady, but this is on a whole nother level. Ryan's mom was even arrested and spent a month in jail. And do not even get me started on his dad, who is basically topping charts as one of the most hated parents on YouTube. When I say Ryan needs help, I am not even kidding, y'all. This is super messed up, and we have to get into every single detail of it. Y'all already know the drill. Around here, we've got pure hate for parents who turn their kids into money-making machines. And Ryan's parents take the stand today. We have covered this story several times in the past, and it literally breaks my heart that we are still here yet again. And unfortunately, Luvs, there is nothing to smile about.
Millions of dollars. We lost revenue of 70%.
I just pushed through.
Literally everyone is probably aware by now that Ryan's World isn't just another kid's YouTube channel, but a scheme for two lazy parents to milk their child out of every single coin they can, for as long as they can. For goodness sake, Ryan has served and fed his parents for over a decade now, and thanks to his overworked self, today the channel has hit almost 40 million subs. But something strange is happening. Actually, it's been happening for years. It is just a wonder that people are just beginning to point it out. You see, this channel has been churning out content for years, all starring Ryan, a kid who pretty much is unboxing toys and building his colorful little empire. Nothing strange. There are literally thousands of channels doing this. Even his videos were usual stuff that a 4-year-old would enjoy doing or watching. He did videos like Disney Cars toys, Giant Egg Surprise, opening Thomas and Friends trains. Nothing out of the ordinary. But the sheer number of views was groundbreaking, y'all. Ryan even has a 7-minute video uploaded 9 years ago, currently standing at a staggering 1.1 billion views. But here's where things started getting a little sus. Back in the day when comments were still enabled on channels, a video with, let's say, 37 million views would have like 1,000 comments only. Notice even this video with over 1 billion views only has 1.5 million likes. The math wasn't mathing. And that was when speculation started running high that Ryan's parents were likely manipulating the numbers. But that is a story for another day. Nevertheless, it was clear that this wasn't just a little family project. This was business, and his parents were all in from the jump. Upon seeing the potential in Ryan, they dropped everything they were doing and started forcing Ryan to create as many videos as he could. And when people started saying Ryan was being overworked, you won't believe what their response was. Believe it or not, Ryan's parents once claimed that it was all Ryan's idea to start a YouTube channel and keep posting toy reviews and unboxing videos.
When I was 3, I was watching other people, and I was like, why am I not on there? And I started my own YouTube channel.
Yeah, of course. A 4-year-old woke up one day and decided he could crack the YouTube code. You have a better chance of convincing me that the sky is green than this BS. No cap, most kids that age are just trying to figure out what cartoon to watch next. But Ryan was somehow special, and after watching several videos, he decided that it was time to go into business. Okay, maybe Ryan was just that special, maybe he really did want to be a YouTube star, but let's not pretend his parents weren't heavily involved. And over the next 9 years, their involvement would turn this little idea into a multi-million-dollar empire.
His mom, who was a teacher at the time, took him shopping for a toy, and he opened it on camera. It would be his first video.
You guys, by 2016, Ryan was already raking in over $22 million a year. That's right, $22 million. And if that wasn't enough, his estimated net worth today is over $100 million. That is enough money to feed Ryan through his 4th generation if it is used well. So you would think that his parents would be setting him up for life, or at least have him retire soon. But you might want to hold on to that thought.
You are the first creators to have a product line in Walmart, which has now sold over $1 billion. You're the first creator to have your own Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloon, and you're the first creator to have an Emmy-nominated show, Ryan's Mystery Playdate.
And let's just pause here for a second because we need to look at the bigger picture. Ryan's fame is all over TV, toys, games, you name it. This kid's face is on everything from Walmart shelves to mobile apps. So not only did he make money for his parents on YouTube, but the empire was way larger than that. But behind that cute smile, people couldn't help but notice a classic case of exploitation. The toll of constant filming, the pressure to stay on brand, or the danger of burnout, the list goes on. These are adults' priorities.
You're the first creator ever to have a Macy's Day Parade balloon and to have a product in Walmart that sold over $1 billion.
The fame might have consumed his parents so bad that they literally forced this kid to keep working. Ryan's dad boldly said in an interview that sometimes they produce over 20 videos in a day. Of course, he tried to make it sound like Ryan is never in all of them, but tell me one single video on that channel without Ryan's face in it. Oh wait, now I don't know about you, but when I see a child making more money than most people see in a lifetime, I've got some serious questions. People started worrying about what would happen when the camera goes off now that it was all too clear that his parents were in total control. So it's one thing to control Ryan's content, but that wasn't enough for his parents, you guys. They started controlling him. Like from everything he would say or do, it was in plain sight that he was always under instructions to behave a certain way. Everyone's fears were confirmed when Ryan started appearing in interviews, but his parents could never let him answer even a simple question. The bubbliness on the videos appeared more reserved or even sometimes disturbed and a little too careful to answer any questions.
Boundary between family time and work appears blurred, leaving little room for Ryan to explore life independently. A quick look at online discussions shows a recurring worry that his development is significantly delayed as he behaves like a young child despite having already entered puberty. One Reddit user starts a thread with, "Is anyone else concerned for Ryan Kaji?" and continues, "Can't say I support using a real child as the face of a YouTube channel." This sentiment is echoed across various platforms, raising questions about how living under constant public scrutiny has impacted Ryan's adolescence. Under the same thread, a user commented, "He is of course younger than me, but it is concerning that his growth is stunted severely."
However, as Ryan's parents were still focusing on the new toy, Ryan was growing up. Not that they didn't notice, they were just not ready to accept that he was no longer 4. Imagine being so focused on turning your kid into a money-making machine that you fail to realize that it's time for a change. So yeah, Ryan's parents were late to wake up to this reality, and that, loves, brings us to the next chapter of this story, the downfall of Ryan's world. You do not have to look too far to notice that Ryan no longer has the aura or even the influence that he used to command back in the day. Back in August 2022, this channel was riding high, sometimes with a whopping 468 million views. Fast forward 2 years, and those numbers are hanging just below 300 million. First of all, that is still an insane number of views that a good percentage of YouTubers will never see. However, in Ryan's case, this decline is like waving a huge red flag, and when you take a closer look, it gets even worse. Interestingly, the main cause of this decline was so obvious, people were shocked that his parents just couldn't see it. As Ryan kept finding his place in the online space, his parents had other plans. You see, Ryan was allowed to grow old, he just wasn't allowed to grow up. So even as a teenager, he is still under his parents' direct orders to forever behave like a 4-year-old. The most notable issue that caused the decline was Ryan is just not the same kid he used to be. Back in 2016, he genuinely looked hyped to be there. Smiling, laughing, just a kid having a blast with his toys. It isn't making sense that he is still out here wearing the same kitty costumes, doing these over-the-top skits like Ryan goes to superhero school. It's like they're desperately trying to cling to that younger audience, even though Ryan is not a little kid anymore. He is growing up, and yet his content is still stuck in the past. No cap, it is literally awkward to watch.
I've been doing this for 12 years. I think I'm too old for this now.
Shut up, Ryan! Don't you remember the contract you agreed to when you were 3?
And it's not just the views, the comment section is giving a big hint that something is up. Not only have they disabled the comments, but when they were still open, people were going off, telling them to at least let the boy create content that resonated with his age. But if they thought disabling the comments on YouTube was the solution, TikTok is especially has been roasting Ryan's world. For instance, this particular video titled Ryan Goes to Superhero School doesn't have very kind words for Ryan's parents. I'm 12. I remember watching Prime Ryan. Now let bro retire. One sentence. People get older. Ryan got older. The fans got older. The channel got older. They did not hold back. People were pointing out how cringy it is to see a preteen acting like a 5-year-old on camera. Not only are his parents after the money, but they aren't even concerned about Ryan's mental development. There is no way his brain would develop if for over a decade, all he has been exposed to is stuff befitting of a 4-year-old. But there's one thing that just doesn't make sense, y'all, and it is not even that people are asking Ryan to quit YouTube. They are simply asking his parents to at least let him transition with his audience into teenhood, the audience that grew up watching him. They are no longer interested in such videos, and neither are younger kids interested in watching a teenager playing with toys. Do you see the dilemma Ryan is dealing with?
Now Ryan is just being used as his puppet by his parents and managers to squeeze out the last bit of cash he's got in him, not just sacrificing his childhood in the process, but also his future. If Jake Lloyd got relentlessly bullied in high school for playing Anakin Skywalker, the literal chosen one in Star Wars, I don't want to know what will happen to one of the most goofy kids known on the internet, who's being forced to do whatever this is at the age of 12 for everyone to see.
It just doesn't make any sense why his parents cannot see the obvious, yet the views are getting lower and lower by the day. A channel that once raked in billions of views in one video is now struggling to even garner 50K views. On the flip side though, it looks like Ryan's parents themselves never grew up since they're super comfortable cosplaying as kids themselves.
Daddy, you're up.
What, I'm next? Oh, I'm nervous.
Go it.
What's more, it's not like other kid YouTubers didn't face the same challenge. They also grew up and moved on. Take Sis vs. Bro, for example. They made kid videos when they were kids and even took a long break for years. And when they came back a few months ago, clearly they are no longer making videos playing with slime, and yet they're still doing pretty well considering that the YouTube space isn't what it used to be a decade ago. So much had changed, except Ryan, of course. Even the Gem sisters, who also started out with kiddie content, have since evolved. Now they vlog about their real lives, sharing experiences that teens can actually vibe with. And sure enough, their fan base appreciates the authenticity. They didn't try to trap themselves in their childhood personas. They flexed and grew with their audience. So why is Ryan still playing this role? Well, let's just say social media didn't miss a beat on calling out the problem. He's been trending a lot lately, and literally the only issue everyone is talking about is just why he is still cranking out the same kind of videos he made 9 years ago. People can't even begin to imagine just how exhausting it must be for Ryan to keep pretending that he's still a kid when he's clearly over it. Clearly, Ryan has even lost the enthusiasm to keep doing this.
Ryan, what was your favorite part of doing the movie?
Hey, good. It was awesome seeing my sisters act in the movie. It was just really cool.
But not only is the channel losing views and hype, it is also losing credibility. Teen Ryan dressing up and playing pretend just isn't the move, especially when kids his age are out here creating content that reflects their actual lives and interests. Sticking to the same formula has Ryan's world looking like it's stuck in a time capsule. And honestly, it is a sad sight to see. But apparently, growing up isn't in the cards. That aside, there is a lot more behind why he hasn't moved on. As much as I'd love to say Ryan's finally catching a break, the reality looks pretty grim. Remember, this kid has spent almost his entire life in front of a camera, grinding out content while any hope for a normal childhood flew right out the window. And now, even as he's entering his teenage years, an already rough time, he's got a massive digital footprint following him everywhere. Even if he wanted to disappear from the public eye, there is no way to erase all those videos and merch displays with his face on them. Ryan's digital footprint is practically permanent, and y'all already know what that means. A lifetime of bullying, cause yeah, the internet can be super unforgiving. Now, just recently on August 22nd, 2024, a YouTuber named John Year dropped a 53-minute interview with Ryan and his parents, hyping it as Meet YouTube's richest 12-year-old special. You'd think Ryan would get the chance to speak his truth, right? Wrong. His dad took over the interview, barely giving Ryan a chance to say anything at all. It was almost like they were trying to keep him on a tight leash, controlling the narrative, and the backlash was swift. People were dragging tagging them in the comments, saying that they cannot wait for the day when Ryan is old enough to spill the real tea on his life.
When you guys look ahead, like any other projects that you're most excited about, like the future of the channel, like how do you think about the future of Ryan's World and your business and your family?
You know, right now I feel like we're at the tipping point where like the movie is a great moment, and then from there, you know, we wanted to kind of step aside and think about what we want to go. Ryan's turning 13 years old this year, so he's turning teenager. So we're thinking about, do we want to introduce something like that align with his age, like more aligned to the preteen demographic, or we want to stay on with the going more for the animation. That's something we're kind of debating right now.
Don't be surprised when years later Ryan releases a documentary detailing how his parents allegedly robbed him blind, pushing him to churn out content, ignoring any long-term consequences. I mean, look at the comment sections. People are already speculating about it. Some even joke that they didn't even interview Ryan at all. It was just his parents talking with him awkwardly present. Ryan is definitely gonna write a book called Unboxing Trauma. It's generally sad. His parents do not care if he hates it or if he's fine with it, and his parents just use him for money. I don't think his parents realize that if he speaks up or breaks down during a live event and exposes them, they're doomed. This isn't just speculation, it is a reflection of how the public views Ryan's parents and the entire empire they've built on his back. Here's the craziest part. The social media space is really changing, y'all. Back in the day, people literally normalized everything and anything. That's probably why Ryan's parents thought that this would be their golden ticket, a way to secure millions of dollars and keeping their family living the high life. But now the tables are turning. Social media is buzzing with backlash, and it looks like they're on the brink of cancellation. It is only a matter of time before people start digging deeper, questioning every move that they make, and it is not looking good. Their pasts are already being dug, and you will not believe this. It turns out Ryan's mom is a thief! Yep, you heard that right. Or let's say at one point she was. Ryan's mom was once arrested for stealing clothing at a department store in Alameda Mall, Houston, where she was ordered to do 40 hours of community service as a part of the probation order. However, she still failed to do that and ended up in prison for 60 days for breaching the probation order. To be fair, we could argue that this was years back when Lone was probably young and dumb, but she hasn't changed much. Only that this time she's been stealing from her kid. She is 100% responsible for robbing Ryan of his time, his money, his privacy, his childhood. Like, the list goes on. So, what's next for Ryan? Sadly, y'all will be seeing his face doing the exact same thing he has been doing for years. When asked about the possibility of ending the channel, his mom made it pretty clear when she dodged questions. Earlier on, she claimed that making these videos is family time. Also, what is it with YouTube parents always insisting that creating the videos is their bonding time? Not that they're wrong, but sometimes these kids' body language speaks a completely different thing. I mean, they just want to go out and touch some grass. So the quality time thing was just a convenient excuse to keep the money flowing. She's saying that they're not going anywhere, which means Ryan's World is likely to keep running until it's run completely dry. Y'all, this situation is messy. From Ryan's lost childhood to the public's increasing suspicion of his parents' motives, it's a lot to take in. And the reality is, Ryan's World isn't just a brand, it's a glimpse into the cost of a kid for content. I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on this one because it will eventually get messier as time goes on. And you already know, if anything new drops, I'll be here spilling all the tea. Thanks for watching, my loves, and see you all in the next video.